I was making a sandwich when I heard it, that familiar humming floating down from upstairs. Mom's voice slightly off-key singing, "You Are My Sunshine," like she used to while folding laundry. My blood turned to ice water in my veins. Mom had been dead for 2 years. I'd watched cancer eat her alive, held her skeletal hand as the light faded from her eyes. I'd picked out that pale blue dress for her burial because it was her favorite. The butter knife slipped from my trembling fingers, leaving a streak of red across the counter. I looked down and realized I'd cut myself without noticing. The blood welled up black in the fluorescent kitchen light, dripping onto the linoleum in a steady pitter-patter that somehow matched the rhythm of Mom's humming. Above me, the floorboards groaned. 3 steps toward the hallway, paused, 2 steps back. The exact way she used to pace during phone calls. I pressed my bleeding hand against my mouth to stifle a scream as a new sound joined the humming. The wet, meaty slap of bare feet on hardwood. "This isn't happening," I whispered, but my legs were already carrying me toward the stairs. The air felt wrong, thick and rotting, like breathing through a mouthful of spoiled meat. Each step up made my joints crack and pop, as if something was trying to pull me apart from the inside. The humming grew louder, but there was something else underneath it now. A gurgling sound, like someone trying to sing through a throat full of fluid. It was coming from Mom's bedroom, where everything remained exactly as she'd left it, down to the half-drunk glass of water by her bed. The water that had somehow stayed crystal clear for 2 years, never evaporating, never gathering dust. The door was closed. I knew I'd left it open that morning. I always did, because sometimes I could swear I smelled her perfume drifting out. As I reached for the handle, my fingers smearing blood across the brass, the humming stopped. In the silence, I heard hangers scraping against each other in the closet, accompanied by a wet sucking sound. "Mom," I croaked, my throat tight with terror. "Baby girl, is that you?" Her voice was perfect, but the words bubbled out like they were fighting through liquid. "Help Mommy pick out something to wear. Everything's so tight now. I think the worms ate through my good dress." My hand betrayed me, turning the doorknob even as tears of horror streamed down my face. The door swung open with a sound like breaking bones. She stood by the closet in that pale blue dress, now stained black with grave dirt and things I didn't want to name. When she turned, I saw that her face had collapsed inward, leaving a dark cavity crawling with tiny white shapes. But somehow she was still smiling. "I've missed you so much," she gurgled, reaching for me with arms that now bent in too many places. Her fingers had grown long and sharp, like they'd been stretching and stretching in the dark of her coffin. "Don't you want to hug your mother?" Something cracked in her neck as she lunged forward, her jaw unhinging like a snake's to reveal rows of needle-like teeth. I ran, her wet footsteps pounding behind me as that beautiful voice dissolved into a sound like screaming metal. I didn't stop running until I reached my car. As I sped away, I looked back to see her watching from the bedroom window. She pressed one elongated hand against the glass, leaving a smear of black ichor. Below it, written in the filth, were the words, "Come home soon." That night at the hotel, my phone rang. The screen showed my home number. When it went to voicemail, I heard Mom's voice, perfect and clear. "Sarah, honey, I'm making your favorite dinner, but I need one more ingredient." Then the sound of something wet and heavy being dragged across the floor. I never went back to that house, but sometimes late at night, I hear that humming from somewhere above me, growing closer and closer, accompanied by the soft sound of dripping. And I swear the water stains on my ceiling are starting to spell out words.